Back with another one. So I know y'all heard the news, right? If y'all didn't, a federal judge recommended that Nelly be reimbursed legal fees from Ali Jones, who filed a lawsuit uh, back in 2024 September, which is a former member of the St.Lunatics. So basically, this lawsuit got dismissed, right, by Ali. It was being reported that, Nelly misled bandmates about credit and royalties on 8 tracks on his breakthrough debut album Country Grammar. That's the lawsuit initially sought 50 million, and all three listed listed three other St.Lunatics members, Kiwan, Lavelle, Tory Harper, who quickly withdrew and said they did not authorize the lawsuit. So that because they figure like, oh, that's like snitching, bro. He go come help us out eventually. Whatever the case they thinking. They said Jones continued alone to move forward, but to voluntarily dismiss the case in April 2025. Lawsuit alleged that Jones and other St.Lunatics members contributed to songwriting on Country Grammar, while Nelly contributions were primarily as a performer. The album spent 5 weeks on #1 Billboard 200 and helped Nelly launch his solo career. The lawsuit alleged as a result that Nelly owed Ali a share of royalties. Nelly's attorneys argued that Jones' claims were time-barred, permit, and or otherwise frivolous, and the federal misgrade, y'all know what I mean, magistrate judge in New York found allegations without merit. According to an October 10th federal court filing, it also states Jones' attorneys uh, continue to advocate for baseless claims after the lawsuit was amended. Despite Jones' voluntary dismissal, Nelly's lawyer sought sanctions against his counsel. Okay, basically he wanted the money from him having to go through all this and, pay legal fees. So I'm pretty sure he agreed to it. They said the judge did not specify a dollar amount for gate sanctions. The final total must still be approved by a district judge. Attorneys for Nelly and Jones have until October 24th to file objections, after which the case could be closed for good. Okay, this is not the purpose of my video. The purpose of my video is to show that 607 this is how he launched his career, basing his whole thing off suing Nelly, right? Every video he was coming out with at first, he was suing Nelly until I came along and shut it down, right? Because I'm tired of the fraud, and it be the crackheads that get on. And it's because Sexy Red, he won't say nothing bad about Sexy Red, man. That's because that's who's spinning his record right now. She's got the wheel going for him right now. She got her hands in all these podcasters' pockets, letting him go on there. He started his own platform, got his little bots, followers going. Every video, it was he sacrificed his son and suing Nelly for 50 million. And come to find out, that was a bold-faced lie, man. That was a straight-up just garbage-ass lie. And he's nothing but garbage. He never was a rapper. All the rappers he so-called signed, like the dude 2 Karma, who so-called went off on the Karma 2s, he whack. Can't none of them rap. They all just garbage, bro. I don't even know where these dudes came from. Talking about they from St. Louis. Yeah, right. Yeah, fucking right. Sorry for my language, but he's not from St. Louis, y'all. I don't know where they say he's from Pine Line, but you never hear about these. And Ali, he went on one interview on the big platform. I'm sorry it had to be Vlad, but I think he went on, Math Hoffa, whatever, and, spoke about it too. But he didn't do all the stuff. Imagine Ali and Keywan and Murphy Lee going online doing what 607 doing, man. Come on now. He trying to build up some kind. And then he talking about all this fantasy, different world dimensions and all this stuff. This is the same thing they say on everything else on other platforms. Like, you know, living in other dimensions, dude. Like, come on, man. Stop trying to spin the people every which way and the other. But Ali didn't do that. He came out and he did one. He spoke about it, but it didn't go through for him. But who really was suing him, like I showed you, like I said, it's all about him suing Nelly 50 million. Every title of the video was it did numbers, all of them, and come to find out it was these guys, two St. Louis brothers. They sued Nelly and Universal for royalties on Nelly songs. It wasn't no dang old 607 man. That was crazy. That messed me up, man. And it was two St. Louis brothers, man, from D2 Productions, David and Darren Smith. They were twins, man. That's what they said. And they said they suing Nelly and the St.Lunatics. Like, they wasn't playing. And this lawsuit is still going. It's not dismissed. And I'm gonna look into it and see what the update is on it, y'all. But it's not over yet. They said Nelly and 5 other men, and they said they was signed contracts to them to collect a percentage of the royalties, and 5 albums, and they didn't, they said Cancel said the titles change can be minor as changing. They had their hands in Ride With Me, which was Nelly's biggest song, one of his biggest songs in the early 2000s, y'all. Like, that song was everywhere. They said the suit estimates D2 is owed up to 10 million. That's kind of a guesstimate, because you don't know until you get the documentation, from how much they made, right? Because they said you're looking at the album, so you just kind of exploit that out. But it's crazy. Y'all should have kind of came back when he was already rich. Y'all seen he didn't come out of pocket. Like, why wait till he, kind of broke? For real. That's where it's kind of wrong at. And they said they also asked Universal to provide information on other songs the brothers have royalties to. This is what their attorneys requesting. And they said so that we can do the analysis to determine whether we've been properly paid, Chancellor said, because at this point you're giving us nothing. Right, because they saying, they said it's wrong, and 607 Unc is not the one who's doing it. They said the group asked no less than 50 million, and that's where it came to it. So it's like he promoting what they suing him for, and he not suing them for this. So yeah, man, just to show y'all, man, this dude, and this the writing credits on all of the, just everything that happened, from St.Lunatics. This is their website. I mean, this is on discography. Pretty Willie, they still had their hands in that too. Yeah, man, shit real. But 607 Skunk, he's not. Stay woke.